for tuning in to the Illuminations Podcast. We love having you here. It is our mission to be a beacon of light on your journey towards conscious and mindful living. In our weekly episode, we bring you inspiring change makers in the field of spirituality, healing, personal growth, and wellness who share their insight and expertise so you can navigate your way to a happier, healthier, and more purposeful life. Welcome to another episode of the Illuminations World Podcast, your guide to intentional and conscious living. I am your host, Sonia. And in today's episode, we ask a very powerful question. What if your body could tell you everything you need as to what is holding you back in your life and how you can live your best life by listening to your body? Join me in welcoming quantum bodywork and energy alignment practitioner who's one of our most successful practitioners here at Illuminations, Tamara Coelho. We invite her today because she has the amazing insight and knowledge to help you understand how your body holds all the answers to everything that is going on in your life from your emotional, mental, physical, and energetic level. And if you are undergoing any challenges in your life, Tamara will share how pain, tension, and even discomforts are your body's signals and your body's way of communicating to you how you can go back to healing and alignment. So in this conversation, we will explore the secrets of quantum bodywork. We will step into understanding how we can release blockages and reconnect with our true vitality. So if you're ready to start listening to your body, to unlock a happier, healthier, and more aligned version of yourself, let's tune in. Tamara, thank you so much for being on the Illuminations World Podcast.
Thank you very much, Sonia, for the invitation. I'm feeling honored to be on the podcast.
Well, you have created such an amazing impact at Illuminations. If you type in Illuminations and you go on any of the Google reviews, you'll often see one person's name, and that's Tamara Coelho, because she has made such an impact in her 1 year here at Illuminations. Clients have been raving about you, and it's sad that it's taken you so long to come on the Illuminations podcast, but today you are here. So tell us, what inspired you on this journey to become a healer and such a talented and gifted healer? In quantum bodywork, energy alignment, you use so many different tools, and you have a vast amount of knowledge. So how did this all come about?
Okay, I guess I share a similar story as most of us therapists, which is like a pathway of the self-healing. There was a point in life where I was observing my health just to degenerate, and also my emotions, they were a bit like imbalanced. And during one of my medical exams, I discovered that I had a mesoderma, which is a vascular mass or entanglement of capillaries. And during these exams, the doctors told me that there was not much that I could do about it, only observe. So this positioning, this diagnosis made me think about all the alternative of healings or procedures that I could take to actually to overcome this chaos, to overcome these imbalances that I was suffering, and find a relief to this point.
So what kind of modalities did you expose yourself to, like healing approaches?
After 1 month, I discovered acupuncture, and this was the first time that I tried acupuncture in my life. And after a quick assessment, a quick conversation with the practitioner, she just told me, like, listen, you have something on your liver, and the chi, the energy there in the blood, they are stagnant. Okay. So the only reaction that I had during this diagnosis, it was like, wow, that was such spot on.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do for life.
Right.
I just forgot about my issues. I forgot about my diseases, and I just discovered something that I got passionate about it. Okay. And after 1 month, I decided to go for an acupuncture postgrad, and then I enrolled after this, specifically this day.
And what did you learn in the course? Like, what are some of the key takeaways that you learned about acupuncture?
Actually, we learned, like on this postgrad, everything regarding to the ancient Chinese philosophy that they are related to explain the universe, to explain the reality regarding the polarities of yin and yang, and also the theory of the 5 elements, which are blueprints that actually exemplify and categorize some phenomena of the universe. And considering that ourselves, we are microsystems, we are microcosmos, they also apply within our bodies. So this 5 elements is one of the theories that I use the most on my techniques here. And
so can you explain a bit about how that works? Like, for example, if I'm missing the air element in my body, what does that signify? Or if I'm missing the wood element in my body, can you give me a brief about that?
So the 5 elements, they are divided into the theory of Chinese medicine into water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. Metal being the air element. So in those elements, they will resonate with certain aspects of the energetic physiology, also energetic anatomy, and emotions that has the same vibration as each element. So basically, on the water element, we have kidney and bladder. And the emotions that resonate with kidney and bladder is fear, insecurities, and lack of motivation. When we have the wood element is resonant with liver and gallbladder. And whenever you have excesses on these 2 organs, you can feel a little bit of angry or more irritability, more impatience. But if you have the energy in a mode of deficiency, you can feel a little bit indecisive. Going for the fire element, it is resonant with heart and small intestines. And once these organs they are affected, you may feel anxious and may feel that your focus is not to the point, your concentration is not to the point.
The idea in Chinese medicine is to balance those elements in our body so we'll be able to create a harmony within the health system.
Exactly.
Right. And you often say that the body never lies. Of course, we know that one of the best practices that we can follow is recognizing the signals of our body and paying attention to what those signals reveal about us. So you see a lot of clients on a daily basis. So just before they even utter a word, what are you able to tell from the body? Because you give a fascinating reading without a person even having to express themselves vocally about what's going on in the body. How does that exactly work?
So I have 2 methods of assessing. In one method, I use radiesthesia, which is an area that assesses microvibrations and microradiations of the ambience. And this is when my energetic fields resonate with either the ambience or your energetic field. So I use instruments as pendulums or a meter in order to amplify, and charts in order to see the quantitative measurements of those informations that I'm catching from you. This is one way of getting the information. Another way, it's observing the body, it's observing the emotions and observing the skin tone, observing how is what the client tells, or what is the pain of the client regarding to what he's going through. Not necessarily something related to the organ or the area, but something that will fit within the category, will fit within the element. So once the client come to me and complains that I cannot manage my anger, so I know exactly that there is something on the liver. If the client comes to me and complains, I'm suffering from I'm suffering from excessive stress, worry, obsessive thinkings. So I know exactly that there is something either on the stomach or on the pancreas. If the client comes to me and say, I have loads of anxiety, I cannot concentrate, I cannot sleep, I know that there is either heart or small intestines involved.
So you're basically able to address the emotional issue based on
exactly
campaign that they're going through.
Exactly.
So what role do emotional blocks play in the physical pain? A lot of people, when they go through something, they don't really address their emotions. They kind of sweep it under the carpet, and when they sweep it under the carpet, they're also taking it into their body and putting it in our place. Like, for example, they say we store your issues in your tissues. So I know that a lot of people come to you because obviously once that emotion is stored, what approaches do you use to basically release the emotional blocks within the body? Because I know, just like, for example, the feeling of not being good enough or the feeling of lack or inadequacy also gets stored in different parts of the body. How are you able to, as a holistic therapist and a quantum bodywork practitioner, able to kind of create that sort of release?
Okay, what I understand by my practices and by my observations is that the emotions, and I would say not necessarily they are bad, but once they are released and they are not drained correctly by either chakras or the meridians that they link it to the specific organs, they act as something toxic or something that can clog meridians and clog chakras, which means if you have something blocking the way where you should absorb the prana or the meridians where the chi circulates to feed the organs and to feed the cells, you are causing a starvation of your organs, of areas of your body, of your tissues, of your muscles. And this starvation will implicate in pain, in physical sensations. So during my practices, what I do is like using the specific protocols, acupressure protocols, and also healing of the chakras in order to release. And this is so interesting. This area is quite interesting because I have like multiple situations within like sessions that I observe a lot of digestive tension because of emotion. And once I'm releasing this tension, we can listen sounds, the stomach gurgling, and it happens like I'll tell you 80% of times in sessions, and this is like something that even the clients themselves, they realize it's something like going on. And if they have like a companion, like a spouse or a friend together with them, they also notice it. And an interesting thing is, whenever we're dealing with meridians, they are kind of like vascular system. They're very similar to vascular system, but they do not carry the blood that we know. They carry the energetic blood and they carry the chi. So they have points all around the pathway of the meridians, and those points, they will affect the specific organs that we want to heal, or like if they have trapped emotions that we want to drain. So if, for example, I'm accessing some points like to release emotions on the liver or the pancreas, for example, I will use some points on the feet. And once I touch those points, I can listen the noise. And this is really interesting because it relieves the tension, it relieves the discomfort, but you also have like a proper, it's very noticeable that the energy is moving around.
But like for a lot of skeptics, for example, is this a long-term relief? Like simply by pressing certain points, right, in the feet, you're automatically able to address like the issues. But for example, if the person doesn't change their lifestyle, if they continue to hold on to the same emotions, if they continue to hold on to the same limiting belief systems, does the issue come back and resurface?
See, when we go to a pattern of the healing journey, it's something that also empowers you for understanding your body, understanding your emotions, and understanding also your belief system. During this path, you're not only going to receive the healing by a therapist, but you also have to receive the sort of acknowledgement to continue
the awareness
to continue with your proper healing at home. For example, imagine if you go to a hospital and you discover that you have a disease in some organ, in some area, and you have the medication, and the doctor tells you, but you have to improve your diet, you have to do exercises, you have to drink more water, and you do not do that. So do you think you're going to overcome this disease forever and you're going to? Probably not. The same with energy. If you do not carry on with your new knowledge, if you do not carry on with your techniques that you can do, the easy techniques that you can do at home, the tendency is to come back to the same pattern, especially because the energies and the imbalances that we carry, sometimes it comes from birth. And during this time of growing up, we tend to acquire more toxins, or we tend to resonate with certain emotions or emotional patterns because we have already the imbalance there. So we need to focus more on those areas of weakness because we understand that this is an area that we need to overcome.
So then you're holding on to toxins, and like, for example, like the doctor says, change your diet, change your lifestyle. What are some of the ways that we can release our toxins so that the issues don't come back?
Okay. I have interesting techniques that I always tell my clients, which are, first of all, we need to have a proper balance of the yin and yang. This is the main core of the Chinese philosophy. So we need to balance within ourselves the yin and yang. And how we balance those two elements? Connecting ourselves with the grounding. So we do grounding with your barefoot, like on the ground, on the sand, on the stones, and also connecting your spirituality. Once you connect it to the yin and yang, we already start to resume the balance. Other than this, or after this process, you can use the knowledge of the organs, of the areas, and start even using self-massage in specific points, self-massage in specific areas that release the tension of trapped toxins and trapped emotions within. Like, for example, if you suffer or if you are in a process of grieving and you're very sad, there are specific points here down your collarbone that you can point and you can release a bit of those trapped emotions that they are there. Because if you leave them there, they may affect in future your lungs, and you can acquire disease after that. Not only disease, but it affects your immune system.
So let me ask you then, if this knowledge is so powerful, why don't people resort to these practices to basically get that sort of relief? Like, there's so many people who still rely on constant medication, or there's still so many people who rely on, for example, just using unhealthy habits as a way of relief. Like, for example, if I'm feeling really stressed and I go out there and I eat burger and fries, and all of a sudden I get a dopamine hit, how does the addiction to cheap dopamine, kind of make me more ignorant towards actually taking the steps and effort to press those points, to do the breath work, to learn about these practices? And why are people so geared towards not doing this? What are some of the patterns in terms of, because we all have this information. Today we can go on the internet and understand what acupressure is and press points is. We can understand that by grounding we can feel better. We can understand by breath work we can feel better. But why is it that you see in terms of their mindset that people are not able to kind of do this in more of a mass scale?
So there are 2 points here. And one of them you also mentioned in your question, which is easy dopamine. So people tend to be so okay. So there are 2 points here. One of them you actually mentioned on your question, which is the easy dopamine. So people tend to be comfortable. Mm-hmm. People tend to go for the easiest ways to fix the problem. They don't want to sit and think and spend times or hours or meditation. They want a quick fix. Mm-hmm. But this quick fix will not go to the root cause. Mm-hmm. And then the tendency is that either your symptoms, they will develop to a point that this quick fix will not work anymore, or mm-hmm. you're going to develop all the types of symptoms related to the same root cause, mm-hmm. but they would not be fixed by this quick fix, this quick dopamine thing, or this quick medication that will relieve your pain. So this is one of the problems. The second problem is most of people, they are skeptical. up to date. So regarding to things related to energy and the energetic background, the energetic field, also the energetic physiology, they tend to not believe much. So I guess this is one of the things that refrains most of people to search for those kinds of therapies.
Yes, I think people have so much awareness today, and people have so much knowledge, and they have so much information that I think obviously we see more so than ever before that people are now resorting to natural healing, natural therapy, meditation, manifestation, holistic tools to be able to help address issues. So any last sort of thoughts, any wisdom, any books, any quotes that you'd like to share with anyone listening who's probably going maybe through a difficult time, or who's probably undergoing a chronic ache or pain? What sort of advice would you give them?
The best advice is connect with the ground, connect with the in energy, and connect with the source. Being those as meditation or prayers regarding to each one's religion, because those two energies, they help you to balance the core movements, the core polarities that you have. Other than this, educate yourself, because this is what will give you power. This is empower you to start on your self-healing journey. And this is really important. Whenever you take responsibility and you understand how things work in an energetic level, and how things they are connected, how symptoms, how emotions they are connected, you feel more in control of the outcomes of your life. You feel more in control over your emotions, and also over your symptoms.
I mean, one of the things that I do every morning is I wake up right before the sunrise, and I make it a point to actually look at the sun. And I recently learned that the sun has 12 different types of rays that are emitted first thing in the morning, and each of those rays has sort of like medicinal properties. So when we look at the sun, you're sort of connecting to the ether, connecting to the sky, but at the same time, I do it whilst I'm going for a walk, so try and ground myself. But one thing you did remind me is now I'm going to take my shoes off and ground myself on the beach, because I think that would be more sort of effective. So thank you so much for inspiring me with that, and probably our listeners as well. So thank you so much for your amazing wisdom, time, and all this lovely information. And for those of you who are tuning in, if you like this episode, share it with your friends. Connect with us again, and until then, take care, live light, and have a lovely day. Thanks for tuning in to the Illuminations Podcast. We love having you here. It is our mission to be a beacon of light on your journey towards conscious and mindful living. In our weekly episode, we bring you inspiring change makers in the field of spirituality, healing, personal growth, and wellness, who share their insight and expertise so you can navigate your way to a happier, healthier, and more purposeful life.